to drop in the ocean. Let me start with you, Dikbo, on this.
Yes, 20% for me is quite low, and I believe that they need to pay a lot more attention. Like you said, if you want to get something done, I mean, do it well. So I see no point why you're saying that you want to increase your salary or you're not paying attention to their welfare, which is a conversation that has been raised time and time again by Nigerians on different platforms, on different fora, like you cited as well with the NSAS and all of that. And then you're saying that you're going to do that, and then it's going to be 20%. Also noting that inflation is on the rise, prices of goods and services are on the rise, price of transportation is on the rise. Next year, you're saying you're going to remove subsidy. So in the end, will the 20% make any difference in 2022, or all the economic changes that will be happening in 2022 will practically wipe it out, and then it will seem like nothing has been done entirely? So that's why a lot of us are saying that if you want to be deliberate about it, let us see deliberate action, not just say that 20%, because in the end, what is that 20% going to translate to in the real world for them?
Recall too that the government has already hinted that there will be taxes and tariff hike in 2022.
Yes, so I mean, so we have to consider all of that, and then we're asking 20%, what is it really going to do? What is it really going to solve? How many square meal are they going to be able to afford in a day? Is it going to improve from maybe 2 to 3 or 1 to 2? Or is it going to just be at the status quo level? So what exactly is going to happen? And in terms of insurance and all of that, are they looking to, are the police insured? Are the policemen insured? I'm not sure they are. If they are, I'm not sure a lot of them are. So these are issues that they need to look at, because in the end, the welfare of the police is something that we need to take seriously.
All right. Now, Ziggy, one would say that if you're going to make a change in this kind of allowances, anything less than 50% to 75% or even to 100% increment may not make any difference in the economy we live in today, as the case may be. But from what you see generally, what will they really change? What will the 20% do?
To me, I think it will make much sense if that is actually implemented. Okay. Because this is not the first time they've been promised of a salary review upward. It was mounted 2018, you know, when Adamu was in saddle, and then nothing came up. Though there was no attachment of the percentage. It was only promised that we are going to have a review of their salary. And until 2019, it wasn't done. Okay? So if 20% is to be added onto their salary, and that will be effective, that will be paid without a delay. Because now we've been told that starting January, they are going to have that money paid or added to their salary. And don't forget, the Auditor General is in the picture too. So he has to actually work out the structure, how it's going to happen and all that. So this might be some of the delays they will face. If that is done, and this review shouldn't be tenured. It should be done over time, okay? So that let it be periodical, so that they work with what we have in the market, what the situation looks like.
The reality,
so that it will kind of transform their life, and let the realities of the environment be seen in connection with what they get from the market, from the salary. Okay. But if this is mounted, if this is said and is not added, is not done, you know, I think it will not work out well.
Okay. The government also talked about releasing 1.2 billion naira for, you know, to cover uninsured allowances and some of the outstanding allowances and all of that. Now, beyond the issue of allowance and salaries, the issue of equipment and training and general welfare of the average Nigerian police. Talk to us from that window, because some people even feel that is even more critical.
Yes, it is more critical, because either we like it or not, the policemen and policewomen, they're human beings. And primarily, the number one instinct for any human being or any creature is survival, either we like it or not, okay? That's the reason why we have jobs. You may then come out to say, maybe at the public forum, that, okay, I'm doing my job because I have a calling for it, but let's be sincere about it. You have to make a living and you have to survive, okay? So we also need to look at it from that perspective, that they are human beings and they are doing this so that they can also survive as well as serving the nation. We need to be very conscious of that fact. That being said, I believe that so far we haven't seen a lot of appreciation and may I say a lot of dignity in the labor that they offer to us in terms of the remuneration that they receive, because we're talking about 20%. So for example, you have somebody or a policeman who earns 30,000 naira. 20% is 6,000 naira. So 6,000 naira increments to the 30,000 naira they're receiving today in 2022. What difference do you honestly think that will make in their lives? So yes, it may be a step in the right direction, but we're saying it isn't enough, because even if we're saying 100%, 30,000 naira, 100% is 60,000 naira. How much difference can that make? And I like what he said. He made a statement. He said the practical realities in the market. So yes, today we're saying 20% may be a step in the right direction, but what are the practical realities of that 20% in the markets today? How many things can it get them to buy? Because either like it or not, they have families. Either they're policemen or policewomen, they have families. What impact will that make in their lives? And in terms of funding and welfare, we've always questioned how the entire funding system goes for the police, because then we hear that, oh, the governors fund them, they get orders from the central, and then somehow allowances fall through the cracks, welfare isn't taken care of. So I think there needs to be a lot of transparency in terms of how the police is actually being funded, and we should actually know where all these monies are going, because we keep hearing that these people have security votes, somebody is voting for this, somebody is giving the police this. Aside from the vehicles they are getting, what more are they getting for their individual persons?
In fact, if you're talking about the vehicles they get from either some trust fund and all of that,
yes,
it's not across the board.
It's not across the board.
Because it's just some states that are doing those.
Yes.
Not all the states.
Some states, some organizations, some foundations.
Providing for them.
But in the end, in the end, Yorubas have a saying that says, that it is the strength you have within that you... That the strength you have within is what you use to express yourself on the outward. So if you're saying that give me new vehicles and then I haven't eaten, I'm sorry. If I crash your vehicle, don't complain that I crash your vehicle, because I'm not well taken care of. You can't be saying that you're in pursuit of a thief or a criminal, and then your mind flashes that, oh, is my wife going to be taken care of today? Are my children going to eat when they get back from school today? These are things we need to be very conscious about when we're talking about the welfare of the police.
Okay. Now, Ziggy, let's talk about the ideal police. We watch, apart from those who have traveled, across the world and all of that, the others who have not traveled at least have an ideal picture from the Hollywood movies we watch and all of that, what an ideal police looks like in the West and so on. Of course, Nigeria, we will say we have what it takes to have that kind of police. If we send our police on UN peacekeeping mission and other things, when they come back with medals and so on. So we have what
they performed well.
They perform well.
Yeah.
So the point there is, what would it take to have an ideal police for Nigeria?
It is our environment.
Okay.
And our system.
I wonder what this environment and system is.
Oh, yeah.
we need to talk about it.
Yeah, we need to know.
Or maybe we need to research into this system and
many times in different fora, we've advocated that police should be taken care of. These are security personnel who lay their life down for others to live. What that means is that if they are not well taken, just like your gate man, if your gate man is not well taken care of, he wouldn't be happy opening gate for you on and off. Okay? And what that means is that, or your driver, someone who drives you, your life is in his hand. So he must be taken care of. Otherwise, if he wants to crash your car, he wouldn't think about his own life because he's worthless at that point. He knows what is
more valuable.
Is more valuable. So he wouldn't, so he wouldn't think much about when he wants to crash your car. But if he is well taken care of, he will think about his life that is valuable. He will think about his own boss life and other things that are components of his life. So our environment, we've talked about what's the name? Corruption as eating deep into the, like we are talking about money that will be brought out for them now. That money, will it be paid as at when due? Will they get it as at when these people need, because they are human beings living in the same society, going to the same markets big men go, they perform the same activities we do. The difference is that their own task of protecting life is more huger than what we expect. And the issue here is the more care that they are given, the much of the work they will do. During the NSAS, and this is maybe one of the products of the NSAS demand was that their salary structure should be reviewed, and we are seeing it done now. Okay, whether you like it or not, police people should be grateful that it happened. Okay, because they are beginning to enjoy it.
But some analysts will not say they should be grateful because this should have been done long before now.
That is why I said the system, the society. Otherwise, if a policeman is seen in terms of what he does, like a teacher is enabler of all of us being here today. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been here. How much is a teacher being paid? Okay? So a policeman does so much job, protected that I was here as early as 5:30. I shouldn't have been here if I didn't have that feeling that someone somewhere is protecting my right of way to hear. Okay? So that feeling alone is enough for me to think that policeman needs more than other agencies. Okay? And like someone said, the same gesture that is extended to police people should, police institutions should be extended to other security agencies too, because their work is much than we think they are. Okay, so they must be seen as working beyond our thoughts.
Exactly. Well, when it comes to the military, of course, the military, their role is very different, is out there. And if we delve into the issue of, okay, are they well remunerated? Of course, in comparative terms, one would say, oh, maybe their salary is very different. It might be better. But what they deserve, is it what they get? It's totally a different discussion altogether.
Sure.
Let me ask you the same thing. When it comes to the ideal police we're looking at, what will be adequate for our police? What will make us have an ideal police?
Well, for me, I believe that primarily welfare should be at the forefront of it. Adequate training should also be taken seriously, because we need to be very honest with ourselves. You see a lot of our policemen on the roads day in, day out, and then if we're being very objective about this entire conversation, we need to ask ourselves, are they well trained? How do they respond to certain situations? Are they supposed to be on the roads doing certain things? Because we don't believe that those things are within their scope of work. We also don't believe that it dignifies the uniform that they put on. So that, for me, is where the training also comes in, aside from the welfare, giving them adequate equipment, and also, not aside from the vehicles they get. I'm not sure how often they get their weapons. I'm not sure how revamped they get with that. I'm not sure how well trained they are with that. Because sometimes you see some police personnel on the road, and then you're wondering, what are you doing in that uniform in the first place? So we need to really look at that and see how we can get the right message across to them. Because either we like it or not, they are also a product of this society, and we will always get what we give. It's really just the way it is. So if we do not train them, if we do not have a well-trained police force, that is what we'll be receiving in terms of the service that they provide to us as security personnel, or as a primary security personnel outfit for the individuals, for the civilians within the borders of our nation. Their welfare, we will keep stressing the conversation around their welfare. Christmas is a couple of days to come. If you drive around, you will see them on the roads. Now, somebody might say that, oh, no, not all of them are Christians. Okay, the ones that are they not on the road? So let's even say Christmas is not part of the conversation. What about New Year's Day? Are they not citizens of this planet? Don't they deserve to get some rest, spend some time with their family? So these are things that we need to be very conscious about when we're talking about the welfare of the police. Because in the end, you drive past them on New Year's Day, on Christmas Day, and then they're wondering, he's going to meet his family.
Yes,
I could be home with my family, but I'm doing this job. And then I'm doing it for what?
I even agree with you. But the point there is, when it comes to celebration of Christmas or Salah or any of those, these days is not answerable to what religion you belong anymore. I
Yes,
look forward to
because-
Salah celebration, and
because
my
it's a time
friends,
of rest.
my friends, we have a lot of fun with killing of ram and all of that. We,
Yes.
you know, eat together and so on. At Christmas, of course, we do all of those things. So it's not even the issue of, okay, it's Christmas, it's Christians, it's
Yes.
Salah, it's Muslim, it's not
Because
that
it is a
anymore.
time
We
of
are all,
rest.
you know, together.
Another point there is, like he said, training. We've heard many times when policemen